Number 4, the ceiling fan trip. Being alone in his bedroom, a guy decided to lie down and go to bed. Just kidding. He loaded a bong with salvia and held a 15-second rip to the back of his skull. The trip lasted 27 minutes. To him, it lasted 15 years. He felt himself peel out of his body, and then, in a flash, he wasn't a person anymore. He was a ceiling fan, bolted to the center of a stranger's living room, stripped of his name, his past, his whole life, with one single purpose: observe, feel nothing, never leave. For 15 years, he hung there and watched a family he didn't know how grow older in the dark, unable to move, unable to sleep, unable to scream because fans don't have mouths. The mother's voice once turned demonic mid-sentence. 3 oranges spun themselves in a circle when no one was looking. All of it silently, for a decade and a half from one 15-second hit. You always think you're just trying a drug. You never think the drug is going to try you. Number 3, the cereal incident. A year ago, 16-year-old Jake and his friends decided Salvia sounded like a fun afternoon. They'd heard the trip stories. They wanted in. So they got hold of some strong 100 times, packed a bong to the brim, and Jake bravely volunteered to go first. Bad idea. He took one massive hit, and the second he exhaled, the world went blurry. "This is getting really hard," he mumbled. Then he stopped being Jake. He became sound itself, a Paramore song playing inside some random kid's headphones, suddenly certain his entire life had been a lie. It got stranger. He became a man building a puzzle for what felt like years, and the finished puzzle was a bong filled with himself, which he then had to smoke to escape. And just like our ceiling fan, Salvia wasn't done turning him into things. He came back as a bowl of cereal, and someone was eating him spoonful by spoonful for what felt like days. When he finally clawed back to reality, his friends calmly explained they'd watched him melt down for 10 minutes and decided hard no, they never even touched it. He did the whole thing alone. You think you're sharing an experience with your friends? Sometimes you're just the entertainment. Number 2, the rot incident. This one comes with a warning, because the person who lived it still isn't sure they've recovered. They thought they knew exactly what they were getting into. They were ready. They were not ready. It started with a tightness in the chest and a wave of pure impending doom. Then reality shattered into a million pieces and took their sense of self with it. Our last 2 at least got to be a ceiling fan and a bowl of cereal. This person wasn't so lucky. They were ripped out of their body and trapped in an endless loop of their own, screaming, melting mind, slowly digested alive by the universe itself. The visuals were putrid: pulsating heaps of rotten meat, oozing wounds, maggots crawling through everything. Then came the part they can barely describe: being flayed alive, skin peeled back, organs exposed, pinned like a specimen by invisible hands. They felt themselves rot, decay, and die in agonizing detail over and over for what felt like an eternity, with no escape and no end. When it finally let go, it left flashbacks, nightmares, and the feeling of being broken in a way that doesn't heal. Some doors, once you open them, don't fully close again. And finally, number 1, the monkey incident. New Year's Eve, 2019. The night before, a very drunk friend handed this guy a free packet of salvia, and he trusted him fairly since it really was salvia. So on New Year's, he brought it to a small party, crumbled 3 or 4 leaves into a joint, and smoked it. He'd done his research, by which I mean he'd read a few Reddit posts and decided everyone was exaggerating. 8 minutes later, nothing. A total dud. So naturally, he packed 12 to 14 leaves into one monster blunt and lit the whole thing. He held it for 10 seconds and let out 3 huge coughs. 1, 2, 3. On three, he dropped straight to his knees, knocking over everything around him. He couldn't feel a thing. He sat there paralyzed, crying, begging for help that never came. Then his eyes landed on a painting of a monkey on his friend's wall, and he became it. Not a living monkey, a dead one. A rotting monkey corpse on the jungle floor, bugs crawling over him, able to move only his head, feeling every swallow of spit slide down his throat. 3 real minutes felt like 2 hours. The whole thing felt like years. When he finally came back, he said he'd seen things he was never meant to see, and to this day, he doesn't look at the world the same. 4 people, 4 shattered realities, all from the same little plant. I genuinely don't know why you keep doing this to yourselves. But that's all for now. Stay safe, and maybe leave the magic mint leaf alone. Have a happy day.